It is not that easy to get a job as a foreigner in Brazil, but it is not impossible. Hey guys, it is your girl Mills and I'm back with another video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about jobs in Brazil. Is it difficult to get a job as a foreigner in Brazil, or how can you get job opportunities as a foreigner in Brazil? First thing you need to have is your residency visa or work visa. So without any of this, you can't have a job in Brazil. Now, when I talk about residency visa, you should be a temporary resident or a permanent resident. How can you get a job in Brazil, or how can you find work in Brazil? It depends on many factors. It is always good to know Portuguese, at least basic Portuguese. Even the jobs that don't require you to speak Portuguese, I always like you to know at least basic Portuguese, because 90% of the companies deal with the locals and only a few percent of Brazilians can speak English. Therefore, it is really difficult to have a job without a knowledge of Portuguese, at least the basic. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about the jobs that are available that foreigners can get. You have two types of jobs here. You have the skilled jobs, where you should have qualifications, you should have all this experience, and then you have unskilled job, where you don't really need experience and all that. Okay, so when it comes to skilled job as a foreigner, you can easily work if you have qualifications, you have experience, you can easily land a job in the foreign companies that speak only English, foreign companies that don't deal with customers directly. You can work in those domains. I'm going to list a few. IT, there's a shortage of workers, so you can easily land a job as a foreigner. Engineering as well, tourism companies, customer service as well. If you have a foreign degree or foreign qualification, you have to validate it, and the validation process is a very long one. Most of these companies, even if you don't work directly with customers, they'll require you to know at least basic Portuguese, then advanced level of English. Now, when it comes to unskilled jobs, I can call them menial jobs: caretaker, construction worker, waiter, cleaner. They'll also require you to know basic Portuguese, but that's not really a problem. You can still be employed without knowing Portuguese, but the only setback about this kind of work is that the salary is low. For a caregiver, you can earn like 1,000 reals, which is about $200. You can get this kind of jobs through agencies. If you can speak English very well, or you're a native speaker of English, then you can land yourself a teaching job. The salary of teaching English in Brazil is reasonable, and from $800 until $2,500. You can also get a job in international school, but most of the times you need to get certificates. But you can also do remote teaching. You can also do private teaching, where you have like a few students and you start teaching them. That's how you build up. The student will recommend another student, will recommend another student. You can also land yourself in international companies that are in Brazil that require you to speak only English. You're also going to be fine because you'll be paid in foreign currency. Just imagine you paying $1,000, that is about 5,000 real, which is reasonable. You have websites where you could find these jobs, but they're very rare. I'm going to put some links below to websites where you can find this kind of job. You need to have a minimum of maybe 1 year experience, like Cattle, Indeed, Expat Brazil, LinkedIn as well. Those are websites where you can check on jobs, okay? Apart from that, if you want to have menial jobs, you can contact employment agencies around, okay? You can search online employment agencies near me. And you need to understand that on your permanent resident visa, if you're going looking for a job, you also have to apply for your work permit. You need to have a work permit, you need to have your resident ID. So those two things count a lot. The next thing you need to know is the salary. But the minimum salary is 900. Let's just round it up to 1,000 reals until you have 20k plus, depending on the kind of job and the kind of workforce or the area, or depending on many factors. So that is a salary in Brazil. You need to know about tax. The tax in Brazil is really high. That is why some things are free, like healthcare and all those things, because they subsidize it with their tax. Okay, so there's always tax. So if you're earning maybe 2,000 reals, know that you have to pay your tax and all of that. If all of this is difficult for you to get, if you're on a permanent resident visa, then you want to consider starting up a business. Okay, if you have little capital, you want to start up a small business first and see if it can boom. For example, restaurants. Here, food is very important. So if you start up a restaurant with little things, snacks and all of that, you're going to get profit. You can also do fashion as well, selling clothes, cosmetics. Brazilians are so into beauty. Hair salon is also good. You can make a lot of money from that. They're doing Uber as well. Uber is another personal business that you can do, and it's going to help you. So you're going to have like an average salary depending on the city, but you need to get a car. And before you want to buy a car, there are many factors and there are many things you need to know. Another thing is you can also land yourself a government job if you are on a permanent resident, but then you need to write exams, and most of the times they want you to get like Portuguese education, like Portuguese certificates, because most of the times when you want to get into the university you need to take these exams to pass. Okay, but you'll be needing also to do exams to get into the government sector. Do more research about this. It's up to you. What is it about getting a job? It is not that easy to get a job as a foreigner in Brazil, but it is not impossible. So the first thing you want to consider is trying to learn Portuguese. There are many websites online, Duolingo. You can go to YouTube every day. You have classes, you have Portuguese classes there. Start learning simple words, simple phrases, and so on. So at least you should have a basic level of Portuguese, because you need it not only for work but in your everyday life. If you want to live here permanently, you will need to know Portuguese. All right, it's an advantage. Okay, with that being said, if you have any further questions about getting a job as a foreigner, you can leave it in the comment section. I'll try to leave many of these websites in the description section, so you can go over to it and search for jobs. Thank you for watching. If you've been watching me until this time, you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And if you find this video interesting, make sure you leave a thumbs up, you share, and you hit the notification bell so that you get more videos every time I upload.